my heart races. So the second you see one, you go into emergency mode, and basically it's running. Every other thought goes out the window. It's getting him into a spot that's quiet, where he can rest, shake it off, hopefully. Any amount of stress that they have can be that thing that tips them over between surviving the strike and not surviving the strike. Basically, I arrive downtown every morning. I try and get here before sunup to look for birds. So I patrol around the buildings downtown, going up and around near the windows to find birds that have collided. Dead ones we do collect for scientific study and to log and map and see what's coming through and where they're hitting. And the live ones we try and help. I work at a building downtown that is completely mirrored on all surfaces. And I think it was probably around 2011 or 2012. There was a year that there were a lot of chickadees. It was like a boom in the chickadee population. And so there were a lot of young ones dispersing that year, and they were hitting my window at work. So they were hitting every 10-15 minutes. You'd hear a thud, that really sickening thud. And I'd run downstairs to see what it was, and usually pick up a dead body. I was patrolling from the beginning, and I'd get up, and some mornings I'd get up, and some mornings I'd be like, oh, I just can't do it. But when I found the first live bird, and he made it and was released later that day, that was it. That was it, I was hooked. So ever since then, I've been going out bright and early every morning. By far, the worst part, and it happened to me this week, is when you see one fall and it doesn't die immediately, but it dies in your hands. So the one I found this week was a Tennessee warbler, and he hit hard. I saw him flutter to the ground, and he was flailing quite a bit, which they don't tend to do, but this one was really trying to right himself. And it was kind of obvious he wasn't long for the world. His body was going to full flexion and his beak was gaping open, but it took him a minute, probably a full minute, to die. And that's hard. For me, it's the long-term goal of making people aware of the problem, working with buildings to treat the surfaces of the buildings or do other things. Some of the things don't even require much effort or any cost. For me, it's one bird out of a billion that hit, fair enough. But for that bird, it's his entire existence. Like, that's his entire life. When I get up in the morning, just knowing that there are birds sitting at the base of a building that are injured, that need help, that's what gets me up every morning.